Hello guys, welcome back to ESENtaxa, this new second live of 2023. We had an issue with the streaming. Sorry for being late. Okay, just 5 minutes. I hope it's not much. If this is the first time for you here in ESENtaxa or watching this live, in this channel, we talk about how to optimize taxation in Italy, how to help people to provide and project a long-term relocation plan in a span of 5-10 years. And we are basically expert and the number one channel on consultancy, tax advice on Italian taxes and Italian fiscal system. We also doing the same thing for Belgium jurisdiction and Portugal jurisdiction, in case you need to go on those countries and because you are basically have different choices, you prefer to choose those countries for other reasons, for working reasons, because you're a digital nomad or because you have a company, then other jurisdiction may help you in different cases, in different ways. Now, in this channel, basically in this specific video, I want to talk about the classical behavior that our clients have, and we notice some kind of issues that we are trying to explain in this live, and we want to also share with you guys our problems with this kind of self-sabotaging behavior. I would call it like this. So basically, a behavior that instead of helping you to move to a new country easily, smoothly, without any problem, you act like a person that self-sabotage himself. Okay. And in this video, in this live especially, I'm going to explain exactly how the majority of the person behaves and why this kind of behavior it's a damage for your new relocation and for your new life in a different country. Now, of course, I always talk about the sphere of taxation, the sphere of understand how much taxes I'm going to pay in this new country. Yeah? Now, first of all, when you are in your country, you have to deal with different rules, with different tax system, with different schemas, with different way of thinking. Okay, and also the person you're going to approach might not the same person you're expecting to have in compare with the country of origin, in relation with your country of origin. For example, you have to talk to an accountant, right? Well, you're looking for an accountant in Italy, and you expect that this accountant also helps you in terms of tax advice or in terms of tax audit. But this is not the case. In Italy, these kind of tasks are done by different persons, different professionals. So we have one profession, which is the tax consultancy or the tax advisor, which basically is the one that guides you through the new fiscal system that helps you to understand what is the best tax strategy, so the strategy behind it based on the law, based on your new regulation. Especially this person has to be updated with the new budget law, and this is what we do in ESENtaxa most of the time. This is our main service. And then we have the accountant, which is basically the person that is basically giving the numbers into the correct tax file return and transmit those data to the Italian tax agency. So basically it's doing the job or putting the numbers in the papers, accounting the VAT, accounting the cost, accounting the forfeit cost, giving back the VAT credit, etc., etc., etc. So doing basically the paperwork. And finally, when you guys get an audit by the Italian tax agency, or this is also in other countries in the world, when you got audited, when you get a check, and this check, it's something that might turn into a request of money because you have made some mistakes in your tax file return or your accountant made some mistakes, then there is some fine to pay or some contestation. So the Italian tax agent might say your cost that you have just deduct against your imposable income because your activity is doing some, construction business, some kind of materials that were not related with your real business. So the tax agency might reclaim the deduction back with fine and interest. So you need to find somebody that actually is able to defend you in court, a tax lawyer, which is basically in Italy, it's called tributarista, okay? So you have to first understand who are you talking to. You have to first understand exactly what kind of service this person will give you. Okay, and this has to be clear since the beginning. So in our case, here in ESENtaxa, we are tax advisors. We plan tax strategies. We provide tax simulations in order to know in advance what would be the amount of money that you're going to pay in the country. Then we have our accountant partners uh, relocated in the countries, for example, in Italy. They work with us, they speak English, we support them, and we are the bridge between the client and the accountant, and the accountant provides the submission of the uh, tax file return. And finally, we have the tax lawyer, which is a different partner, a different thing that we also have in Italy, and we also provide this service. But guys, we have to be aware that those are three different services. Now, another problem that very often happens among our clients is the following. A lot of people are sending us email in which they claim that they are paying double taxes in relation of what have thought at the beginning of their Italian journey. So 1 year after having run their business, they discover in the Italian tax file return that they have to pay double taxes or 3 times the amount of money that they thought to be paid for through the F24 model. So the Italian accountant comes with famous F24 model with the big numbers, and most of these persons are basically lost because they think, that's crazy. How come I have to pay all these taxes? Why nobody told me that I have to pay all this amount of money? And this is the classical situation because in Italy we have the problem of that a lot of our Italian accountants, they are not informing taxpayers about how much taxes they have to save in a different bank account or simply put aside in order to afford the pre-advanced payment. Okay, so this is something that we have also talked with the help of Fausto Carnevale. So we made a video about the pre-advanced payment in Italy. And basically, this is one of the cases where the person they find a double amount of money to pay because they thought that they should not pre-advance taxes. This is one of the most important information that we give to our client. So it's extremely important to be aware of how much taxes I have to pay next year and how much taxes the Italian state requires me to pre-advance during the current semester. Okay, so this also is a very, very important topic. A lot of people contact us and are completely lost because they are scared about paying a huge amount of money, and they just know about this in advance, and maybe they already spend all their money in their bank account. So be careful about also this point. Another point, the third one, I want us to be very clear here, guys. It's important that a taxpayer is aware about the Italian tax system or their country tax system. And when you move from a country to another country, the tax law, the tax system, it's different. So you have to learn how the new tax system works. And here we also have provided a service, which is basically a video course in which we explain you how to pay less taxes in Italy, but we also explain you how the system works. Because we have understand that a lot of people, they give too much trust on accountants. They simply say, I don't want to know anything about taxes. To me, it's a very boring topic. I don't want to be behind all these subjects. It's very complicated. And I don't want to know. I don't want to deal with it. I just want somebody that provides everything and doesn't bother me. That's very wrong. Mostly if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business man, if you're running multiple business, it's mandatory that you learn how the new tax system works. Because if something happened, if there is a mistake from your accountant, and also in good faith, I mean, not something that has to be done in purpose, but simply because the accountant was in a rush, he just forgot a number or something, you're able also to correct your accountant. This is very important. This is something that a lot of people don't do. They don't behave like this, and they sabotage themselves. They sabotage their business in Italy simply because they are not aware about the new tax system, how the Italian fiscal system works, and they're not able to communicate to their accountant to correct him in case, or talk the same fiscal language. So our online course, which you will find the description and the link in the description below this live, is basically has the purpose of give you the knowledge, give you the understanding, and allows you to have a grown-up level conversation with your Italian accountant. So you are going to talk to him about the same topics and you understand each other. So we provide you the English-speaking accountant, but we also provide you the knowledge to talk to him at the same level, because you cannot receive the information and take those information, take it for granted. Absolutely is the worst behavior that you can have. Okay, and this is going to ruin your business. I also had some example for one of our clients. Sometimes told us the classical scenarios where I gave my tax documents, tax file return to my husband or my friends that were in Italy, because they speak Italian. I was not able to. Then after 1 year, when you realize to pay more than what you expected, then you get crazy, you start to fight with them, and then you contact us and we have to fix what you have already damaged the previous years. So don't delegate. You have to be aware about what you're doing. You have to know correctly the Italian fiscal system as much as possible. And then now I just basically gave you a little bit about this, our thoughts. I mean, how we think that you should supposed to behave in order to avoid to ruin your business, to sabotage your business. So, as I said before, we provide you this online course. We provide you tax advices. We provide you tax simulations, and we also provide both services: tax advice for more than several times per year. We also follow you guys along with you. We stay along with you the entire year. We also provide a long tax strategy project and the accountability. Now, in our website www.ESENtaxa.com/services, you can find how we work, what we offer as services, and also the quotes, so description, the quotes, and the prices. I have heard sometimes that we are expensive, so we charge 497 for 1 hour. They say, no, it's too much expensive. But I want you guys to be a little bit aware of that. If you have a wrong tax advice, if you receive the wrong tax advice or tax strategy, you're going to lose a lot of money, more than 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 euro. This is the classical cases when somebody is not aware of, for example, of the impatriate regime, and they contact us after 1-2 years, and they have lost the chance to spare something like 20,000 euro, 30,000 euro, because as you know, the impatriate regime gives you this 70% or in 70% deduction of your income, or 90% deduction of your income if you relocate in south of Italy. So this person, maybe they checked our services, they thought that we were too expensive, but then after 2 years they came and they say, I'm sorry, unfortunately, we didn't apply for the impatriate regime, we thought that you were too expensive, and then you lost 20,000 euro like this. So you give a gift to the Italian state, you were eligible to spare a huge amount of taxes, but you paid everything to the Italian states for nothing. So basically, just because you want to spare 400 euro or a little bit more, and you did everything by yourself, or you just went to an ordinary accountant that basically is not even able to speak English, or is not even able to provide you a tax strategy. Okay. We also provide you the tax simulation. If you go in our webpage www.ESENtaxa, still in services, I will put this in the description in the comment here. You will see that we also offer the tax simulation along with the consultancy, and the tax simulation really helps you to understand the impatriate regime versus the forfeit regime versus the social security calculation, which is something that is quite tricky to understand in Italy, mostly because the INPS didn't clarify a lot of things, a lot of stuff, and there are still something that we need to weigh the clarification. So if you're looking for an accountant that is not even aware about the input rate regime, imagine how he can mess up with the social contribution as well. Okay, I think I give you our point of view. I hope that in this live I clarify certain kind of behaviors that are basically ruining your Italian business as soon as you relocate in Italy. I try to reply some questions. Okay, I see a couple of questions from Jefferson. I moved to Italy a year ago and I delegate everything to my accountant. That's right, since I don't understand anything about taxes. I only recently found out about pre-tax advance payment, exactly what I was saying before. So Italy has the system of conto and saldo. This is the Italian name. So pre-tax or advance of payment and balance. Okay. So since you have this system, you have to put aside a certain amount of money, and you don't have to touch that amount of money because you will have to pay them in June of the following year. And at the same time, the first semester of the current year, you have to pay the pre-advanced. So these kind of things are very obvious, but a lot of accountants, they don't give the explanation about it. Now, I'm finding myself paying more taxes than I should, and I'm very annoyed in a situation. Is there anything I can do? No, you can do anything, because when you realize that you have paid more taxes, it's already too late, because you have already you already asked me these questions in 2023, while your fiscal year has been closed in 2021. So there is almost nothing that we can do. So be careful about it. We always contact our client at the end of the fiscal year, because if there is something to be adjusted, if there is something to be verified with our client, we are still on time before the 31st of December. So this is one of the most active tasks that accountants are not willing to do in Italy. Okay, we have also another questions from Jurai. Nice one. I'm thinking of purchasing the course. Seems like excellent value. It's the PDF or more like a video format? Okay, our course, it's a video format. You will have basically the introduction of the general concept of the Italian fiscal system. There are slides. We pass through several concepts through slides. So it's basically those are lessons. And we also give in certain cases, some exercises. So you can basically exercise yourself, and you can double check if you have learned certain concepts. We span through any kind of topics. We start from the basics. So how the Italian fiscal system works. We also explain how works the new digital identity in Italy, how to purchase a home, how to put your home under rent, how to optimize your rent income, how to minimize your property tax, how to open a VAT position, ordinary, forfeit, input rate regime, everything. We also combine scenarios. So we basically explain everything. It's almost 4 hours course. And once you have learned all these things, you will have the chance to talk to any accountant, not with us. You can choose your Italian accountant, but you'll feel like more strong in terms of knowledge. Okay, you will be more effective and talk with your accountant, and you can show him that you are aware of certain important topics. We also explain about €1 home. We also go through all the tax benefits that are existing right now in Italy. In the end of the video course, you will also have the chance to obtain a voucher, so 20% discount in our services. So after the course, if you want to purchase our services, our tax consultancy, or our accountability, you have 20% of discount. So I think it's very, very interesting solution in case you don't want to go for 1 hour consultation because you're not yet convinced about what is the topic you want to talk to, and then you can use a video course that broadly explains you all the topics in advance. Yes, the course will be updated with the new rules. Of course, along with the course, you should subscribe the channel ESENtaxa, because First, in ESENtaxa, we released the new Italian budget law 2023. We are releasing this month of January all the news. Then we see which news can be updated in the course. Of course, sorry for that. I'm playing with the English words. And so yeah, it will be updated. And you also had a chance to see in the notes below the videos some small adjustment. For example, the fourth regime has been raised from 65,000 to 85,000 euro. So you will see the video, everything is exactly the same. We just put under the video just a small note, this limit has been raised in 2023. So yes. Okay, any other questions? Let's see if we have somebody else. But I think I made myself clear about these classical errors that a lot of clients are making. We are very sorry whenever we receive these kind of emails where people are desperate. They don't know how to pay their taxes because they consume all the money in their bank accounts. And we say always, if you talk to us in advance, we could have helped you, and maybe now you're not in the situation. This is very, very common. And I have to tell you guys, it's something that it's common also among the Italians who lives in Italy. It's not just because you are foreigners, you're not aware about the rules, and then you might be more, let's say, fragile because you're not able to understand their local laws. Also, Italians, they don't learn their fiscal system, and they find themselves in very awkward, strange, and dangerous situations with the Italian tax agency. So we have seen a lot, guys. Okay, I think we can close this live. If there is somebody that wants to ask any other questions, stay tuned always in ESENtaxa. In the description below the video, you will have our email contact, info@esentaxa.com, our link to the video course, and our website, www.esentaxa.com/services/courses. And that's it, guys, for today, and see you in the next live. And of course, stay tuned because we're going to release soon new videos. Thank you. Have a good evening.